Well, build my gallows and build them high. Makes a long time climbing before I die. I want the chance.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Longbangers with Leaf Spirits. I'm Matty.
Colin.
Good morning. I'm John.
And how are you both doing this morning?
I started with a somber tone. Deliberately.
On purpose.
I'm wearing black.
Colin looks like he's gone into excuse me, disciplinary meeting at his work.
Well, who's an end at me or something else?
I'm not sure yet. We'll see how the rest of the episode goes.
It feels like a disciplinary should be happening somewhere on the back of yesterday. Right, we've got absolutely tons to talk about today, which probably gives a decent flavour of the strength of feeling after the performance yesterday. Right, so 3-0 we lost to St Mirren in a game that, so probably a little bit early in the season for it to be a must win, but it wasn't a kicking arse off it. It was one of your sort of cliched 6-pointers with St Mirren ahead of us in the league going into it. If we've got top 6 ambitions, we couldn't really afford to lose that one yesterday, but lose it we did, and lose it in style. We did, and know the style that we want to see. So we're going to briefly talk about that, but we've got over 100 talking points to get through, which, like I say, gives you an idea of how strong people feel about it. So, Colin, I'll start with you. Your sort of overall take on the game yesterday, please.
So, my overall take, that first half was terrible. I walked in as the first goal was scored. I was playing around the Meadowbank, so I arrived just as the goal went in. And I thought, make for an exciting game because we'll be chasing it. We've got these attacking new players, exciting players. I obviously didn't see Macklin days last week and all that. I heard how good he was, so I thought, right, okay, we'll still have me a chance. And then the airs fell out. And then it could have, it was 3-0 at half time, but it could have covered. It could have definitely been 4 or more. And then the second half, like didn't they really? No shots on goal. Never mind the target in the first half. Second half didn't feel that much better. I would have made 5 subs at half time, and left with 10 minutes to go. So I didn't even see. I've seen the chance on the telly that the new boy just put past the post. Fucking dreadful. As somebody terrible, didn't he? I mean, St Mirren's a decent side. Fucking hell, like they wiped the floor with us.
You absolutely did. John, what about you?
I didn't really have much else to add. I think the first half was probably as bad a first half I've seen for Hibs in some time. I can't even remember. I want to say, do you remember we've referenced it a few times, the Falkirk game, where it seemed like everyone lost their head. I think Liam Craig got sent off at the side of the pitch. I forget who was in charge, who was the referee that day, but that was the one that immediately. Freeman, was it?
Freeman. I'm sure it was. That was the. Sorry, just jumping in. Carry on.
No, that's right. I was trying to cast my mind back to think of a time that we saw such a poor first half performance, and that was the one that sprung to mind. I think the manner of the 3 goals, well, 2 of the 3 goals at least, because you could probably exclude the penalty because it was like penalties are kind of a bit of a gimme for the opposition, but the first and the third goals, like they just kind of came with a whimper, not dissimilar to the style of Kilmarnock's second last week. It was just kind of simple, nothing balls. One they defended, ended up in the back of the net. And second half, I think with the reaction for the support at half time, and actually throughout probably from the third goal and leading into half time and beyond, with the players being booed off the pitch, being booed back on, kind of thing, that was indicative of how strongly people felt about it. So, and the game was, I think the game was lost. I didn't expect to see Hibs. I tweeted that Hibs might get a consolation goal, a screamer probably, like something like the 87th minute to have something to be slightly happy about, but that didn't even happen. Like I don't think we really looked like scoring. Colin mentioned something there about a shot past the post for a new guy, but I can't remember it. Like the second half is just written off because it's
It
so
looked-
heavily weighted in how poor that first half was.
It looked really late on, John, because there
It
was
was.
nobody in the ground. Like it was
It was
a
the
decent
55th
effort.
minute. Nobody left.
Booing back on at half time. That was interesting. John, I forgot about that. I mentioned that at the game actually. It's like, can't remember the last time that happened. Get booed onto the pitch. Normally it's the away team. You would think get booed on, eh?
Or like you often see it with the officials being booed off, and they maybe get like a wee bit of a murmur of that when they come back on. But
Well, Gollum's getting away with that, like obviously, because I'm sure there'll be a talking point. I'll get mentioned. Well, I might not even get mentioned because I think it's inconsequential, really. But that's never a fucking penalty. Like I seen it at the game.
Two penalty incidents that I will mention as we go, but you might as well, if you're talking about the one we give away, go ahead.
The one I gave away, well, I was sitting beside a boy called Martin, and he had it on his phone at the time. So I seen it at the time, and we're like, a penalty. And I just said that one. I don't know what the rule is. Like I don't know, because you're watching it on a phone. It's hard to see. I've since seen it on sports scene, and you go, is that a handball? Like, and if it is, it doesn't always get given.
No.
So, like, what is the fucking rule here? Maybe we should just do a campaign and get Colin not to referee any of our matches again. So it seems to be able to be allowed. Precedent set on that front.
Just I have a right to SFA. It was when he gave it. It was at our end, right? So we were more or less in line with the incident, and I thought he'd given us a foul at first. There was absolutely nothing to suggest there was going to be a penalty, and then
Not a St Mirren player put their hand up. Not one. If you watched I've watched the replay, and not one of them's even. Not one person. And they always say, look at players' reactions.
Aye.
Not one of them is complained for it. Not one.
And VAR checked it and went fine. It blows my mind, and I think where I get frustrated is the consistency thing. Again, Colin, like you say, like they're not always given. If they're always given, you go fair enough. Like that's what the rule is, and you just have to to go with it. But
I think that's the rule in Europe, isn't it? They say if the ball touches your hand, it's a penalty. So when teams go to the Champions League and that's given as a penalty, but it's no in the domestic Scottish and English leagues. But VAR checking it, that's when they then go, is it clear and obvious? And what they would say as well, they'd probably just go an on-field decision there. Because if you hadn't gave it and they went to VAR, they would have went, it's not a penalty because there's no clear and obvious. Like the clear and obvious is like this big, huge fucking grey bucket. And you just basically do the referee's call. So then VAR is fucking invalid because they just go with what the referee said.
And I suppose that's what folk asked for as well, isn't it? Like they asked for VAR not to intervene with everything, but I just think the balance isn't right. I think if you've got a decision that's wrong, go get the referee to have another look at it because Columns had one look at that in real time. Fuck knows who he's gone penalty.
And it did hit his hand.
Aye.
So that's why he gave it.
But get him to have another look at it. The referee's got the luxury of being able to do that, regardless of is it clear and obvious? Just because, do you want to just double check you've got the right decision there? Right, we're not telling you you're wrong or that you've made a mistake, but go and just double check it before you put a team 2-0 down. And like I say, I think it was inconsequential anyway. The way we were playing didn't really matter. We should have had a penalty as well with my leader getting his shirt pulled off him as his. He didn't go down.
He didn't. No, that's why he did get it.
And it's. But again, VAR have got to see that, and we can shirt pulls our penalties because we've spoke about that. We've given away one to St Mirren. Rangers got one at Aberdeen. Shirt pulls are penalties. Fails the Kolak test. Like he had more contact on my leader than Rocky did on Kolak when they got a penalty. So things like that just annoy me. But like,
it is a penalty.
Aye,
but you didn't fall down. You didn't get it. The referees have made that clear. So, but the thing is, I don't want that to sound like we're trying to give them excuses because Hibs were fucking terrible yesterday, and I'm not even sure if they two decisions would have made a difference.
They wouldn't have. I genuinely don't think they wouldn't have, and I'm not going to spend any more time talking about it because I don't want to detract from the main complaint of yesterday, which was the team. John, the starting lineup. What did you think when you saw it?
I thought it was quite interesting because of some of the changes, like not just in terms of personnel, but in terms of the lineup. So we've been talking about Yuan up front for a while because you put him up front, and he doesn't have to do any of the sort of defensive work. You also had, I think, Maulida playing over on the left. You had Trantis at left centre back, and I think you had Whitaker starting in place of Megwa. And I think that's the sort of thing that a lot of the talking points that we've received. You're looking for a bit of the old guard to be moved on, and you're looking for inclusion of the new guys. Sorry, let me rephrase that. If you're going to get rid of the old guard, so the Hanlon Stevenson kind of thing, then you need to have replacements. So it's natural that the new guys would come in and fill that role. I was keen to see how it was going to pan out because it got Marcondes and Melida starting. Like I say, took away that sort of defensive inability, for want of a better word for you, Anne. And then when was the opening goal scored? Was it the 4th minute or something? So it just quickly went to shit and never really got started. Like I couldn't say that there was anything particularly good in that opening 4 minutes. And then there was nothing for the remaining 41 of that first half, and nothing to note in the second because the game was done by that point.
It was actually the 8th minute.
Was it the 8th? As late as that?
I don't know if that was in the 7 minutes and something to make it 8 minutes, or if it was 8 minutes and 5, because that would then be the 9th minute as well. No.
Yeah.
Colin, there was a bit of chat at the BBC after about you need to give players time to settle. John Collins made the point that we've signed a load of players that haven't been playing first team football, and it takes he reckoned 4 or 5 games for them to get up to speed. Was it how do I phrase this question? Well, was it a mistake for Montgomery to start? I think 3 of them. Should he have started more, or should he have started fewer?
I was expecting him to start them, but the 3 he started, 2 have already played 2 games, and there's only 1 that's brand new to it. Well, where my problem would be, and it did look like that. I think I said that at the game actually. It's like you definitely knew an excuse would be the no gelled, and they hadn't. Whether they're shite or no, I don't know. And we've went for, like we're saying, they're shite or no, like Marcondes being fucking Nick Sosie to like doing fuck all yesterday. So I wasn't surprised that the boys started at centre half, like at all. And I definitely wasn't surprised that Marcondes and Melida started because they've been playing. So I wasn't surprised, no. But they didn't look, but nobody looked good. Where my issue is here, he said he wanted players that would make an impact. But then we're saying, but they need 5 games. Well, they're not making a fucking impact then. So we're signing players that can't make an impact. That's effectively what John Collins has said.
Yeah.
Then I never heard what he said, but just repeating what you said.
It's they made an impact in the wrong way, yeah. Like that's not what you want to say, but it's a total contradiction from what Montgomery set out that he wanted. And like I saw some criticism for the club no signing an experienced centre half that we've obviously brought in Bevan and Nectar.
He wasn't even on the bench, was he?
No, he wasn't. Nectar was a centre half that we'd targeted. We'd gone to Sunderland, and Montgomery had said that we had one line up and it fell through at the last minute. Well, that was him. Do you know? He was
right.
like it
wasn't another boy that was
no. It was him. He was the number 1 target for us for that position. So, like you've got the recruitment team getting a bit of flack for it. But I think if folk talk about the manager having the final say in it, and if they've identified him and that's who they wanted to get, you kind of, I don't know, are the recruitment team supposed to step in and say, we're not signing him for you. That's the player that you want, but you're not getting him. And how does that go down if that's the route they take? I just think like that's on the manager. And if he's saying he's needing players ready to come in and make an impact immediately, and we're getting players that need 4 or 5 games, we've not got 4 or 5 games. Like the league's already slipped away for us in terms of what we want to achieve.
Uh,
I thought you meant the league title for a second there, Matty.
No, just
very optimistic outlook.
Just top 6.
Just top 6. And the thing is, right, this is maybe a bit of hyperbole, maybe a wee bit of getting carried away in the heat at the moment, but first half yesterday, right, in my opinion, was I struggle to think of 45 minutes for Hibs I've seen that's worse than that, right? And include Hampden against Falkirk when we were 3-0 down, the second half against Hearts in 2012. like where we folded. That performance yesterday was as bad, in my opinion, as anything that we saw under Butcher, and that's a sort of performance that would get you relegated.
I'm laughing because
Am I getting carried away?
no, I'm laughing because the 2012 game, I didn't see the second half of. I was away. I was on the train. I was in the house probably by the time the final whistle was being blown. Um, what are you being carried away by? What are you asking? Sorry.
Just like, was it as bad as Butcher? Because Butcher's widely regarded as one of the worst managers ever, and the football was dire. But I put yesterday's performance at least as bad, if not worse, than what we saw under Butcher.
Aye, it probably was, and I know like I try and not be like heat of the moment and all that because that's where you like it always feels worse today. Like we went even under Jack Ross, we got Ross Counties and
Aye.
I can't remember. There's another one we usually throw at Livingston,
Aye.
and they were 3-0 at homes that were shite as well. But that first half yesterday was pretty bad because even the Butchers teams, although they got beat most weeks, it wasn't always a doing. It wasn't a doing. It was like, and used to have the ball, could he create any goals? He used to get the ball to Stevenson on the left, he would cut inside, he'd pass it backwards, and it was shite football and it was crap and we would get beat. But yesterday looked like they were going to score almost every time they went forward. And it was like a when you play a lower league team in the Scottish Cup and you're flooding forward all the time.
What was different then second half? Because the reason I asked this, Colin, you say there, and I had the same thing. Like I made a joke about Hibs having agreed a safe word with St Mirren before the game because we were getting dominated that much. But we didn't concede more in the second half. So what was different? Like presumably, I'd like to think that if I was Stephen Robinson and I had the better of Hibs yesterday, that I would have gone out and got more, because how many opportunities are St Mirren going to have? You'd think, and I don't mean this to be disrespectful, to go and beat Hibs 4, 5, 6-0, because that's that first half performance, because the manner that we lost the goals, it suggested that they would go on to score more, but they didn't. And that, I think that maybe goes back to Matty's point last week about the contradiction in the Hibs side. We can be so shite and then we can actually defensively be all right.
I agree with that. I think it. Well, maybe I do agree with the contradiction. But do you watch the rugby yesterday, the Scotland game?
No.
27-0 up after 45 minutes. We won 27-26. Because spoiler alert, right, for anybody that's recorded it and not watched it yet. But we just took the foot off the gas, just complacent. Finn Russell, the captain, said after the game how we were complacent, and then the momentum swung. So we never got the momentum swing, but St Mirren went, game's won. And we were a wee bit better. If we were any better, we would have scored a goal or two and put the pressure on. We didn't. When you're 3-0 up at half time, how often are you 3-0 up at half time and the game just finishes 3-1, like you said, or 4-1 or something, and the second half's a non-event? And that's what it was. The game was fucking done by 44 minutes, whatever it was, when we got the third. I think. And we made some changes, and then there would be a bit of personal pride, but like we never created much. We got 5 or 6 shots away or something, but I don't think it was anything really we'd done other than they would have taken the foot off the gas, games won.
St Mirren contained us second half. They were like, I think they pretty much took the approach, didn't do anything stupid. Do you know, like didn't get Hibs away back into the game. But actually, St Mirren carved out the better chances in the second half. I think still they had like a couple of crosses that were dangerous, a couple of shots that went wide. I guess if they wanted to score again, they could have done it. Hibs were that bad. That Colin, you saying about like playing against a lower league team, and that there was moments in that like Yuan trying to keep a ball in play that's been passed a foot to his side again rather than to his feet. And
by the way, I nearly tried to give him the benefit of the doubt on that one because Newell was doing injured at the time, right? And I thought, is he just let it roll out so that Ken let him get treatment? And then St Mirren just put the ball in and played on. And I thought, it's just like nobody was even shouting for it, saying, fucking hell, let that roll out. It was just that he couldn't be fucking bothered sticking his leg out.
I didn't, just while we're talking about Yuan, there was a moment where he gets the ball out on the left-hand side and he seemed to stand still with it. And I didn't mean this to be like a criticism of him or to highlight him in particular, but it was just an odd moment where he was stood on the touchline with the ball, looking at his opposite number. And I suspect that there was no pass on for him. like just a lack of movement for the Hibs side. And actually, to go back to, sorry, not to go back, just something that I wanted to bring up. There was a couple of moments in the first half where, who was it? Newell and Fish have played passes towards Marcondes. I think Fish is probably more likely a clearance, and Marcondes is kind of giving it a like fucking calm down gesture.
Mm.
So I don't know if there's I don't know if the newer guys. I wonder if there's maybe or what do you think? Like, is there a difference in quality between some of the newer guys and some of the existing squad that just led to a complete collapse yesterday of
I think they're looking about going, this boy's fucking shite.
Like I
what
do
you mean?
wonder that. Like,
What the fuck am I myself for?
Marcondes is maybe looking for the ball to feet, and Newell or Fish maybe dink a ball over the top for him to run it. He's like, "What the fuck are you doing? Like, you're just wasting the attack there." And I wonder if that led to a breakdown in I don't know what the word is, like mentality or concentration or the ability to like communicate on the pitch what it is that each of them were trying to do with one another.
So that comes to the point that John Collins is making in the way. Again, they'll get to learn each other's game and that, and like link in or gel or whatever the football terminology is for it. But I get what you're saying. I wonder if it is that because Will Fish is a Man United player.
Aye.
He's not a Man United first team player. You would think. I don't know. Like, would you say that his like, where he came from at Man United is of a better quality than Hibs? Like, are we saying that Will Fish is better than Hibs? Like, I don't know.
No, I didn't give he's good enough for Hibs.
Well, interestingly, like that maybe brings us on to the first goal, because I think the first goal, it looks like the ball comes, like Gogic gets between Whittaker and Fish. Fish looks like he's kind of looking about, like what the fuck is going on? Gogic has come over unsighted for Whittaker's right shoulder and just belted home a header.
Are you watching this? You've not seen Sports Scene? They kind of they're sort of almost pinning it on Marcondes a bit, because Whittaker's marking the boy outside, Fish is marking the boy inside. Gogic just comes in the middle and Marcondes just wanders away.
Does
he? Leaves him tip.
But I don't know. I mean, Whittaker tried to get across, but he's watching the boy at the back post, which we've been criticised for, or Megwa has been criticised for no doing. So actually, he's looking there thinking, "Oh, I've got the boy here. If the ball goes over, fuck, better get inside because we've left Gogic totally unmarked." So I don't know if Whittaker can be blamed for it. Defensive experts will tell me better, but the TV guys, if it was Neil McCann and Peter Grant, they're not defenders either, but that's what they were suggesting, and it makes sense.
Could Marshall have come for it? Because it didn't seem like I try to think where Gogic actually made the contact to header it, but it didn't look like he was miles out. It was an easy goal for him.
6 yard line.
6 yards. Like I don't know. Can the keeper come for that, or should he be coming for it?
I don't know if that one. I think he could for the last one. I think the last one's pretty. I mean, jumped the boot goals here, but. So I don't think it was a penalty for the second one. First one, the TV's blaming Marcondes. The last one, that's just a corner. Like a fucking straight in swinging corner. Like, that's it. Like, no knock on, no flicks. Straight in, tap in at the back post. Like, fuck me. And Marshall's on the line, like, trying to claim a free kick or something. And you're like, just move. Just step a yard away and come out and catch it, because that's all you needed to do. And he's standing there behind the defender going, oh, the defender's in my way. The attacker's in my way. And what are you doing? He's not. The boy's not even fucking holding on to him or pushing him. He's just standing in front of him. Just walk round him.
The right-hand side got targeted. Montgomery commented on it. But I'm going to go to talking points now. That's the last point I'm making, and we'll fire onto them because we're going to be here all day otherwise. Right-hand side got targeted. Montgomery mentioned it after it. Is playing Jair and Whittaker there. Thoughts on that situation, John?
I really don't know. We find ourselves in a situation where our starting right back is away on international duty, and he's getting pelters for some mistakes that he's made while he's been away. Our replacement, the 16-year-old, is 16. Like this is maybe his 7th or 8th game. He's made a couple mistakes. We've brought the guy back who was out on loan at Megwa, who the senior players in the squad have talked about as being like really talented, one for the future. And actually, I thought there was, for the second half, there was a couple of moments for Megwa where he's beating his man on the right hand side. He's won a foul. That looked quite promising. He also got subbed last week after having made a really simple error that's led to a goal. Jair's had his own critics throughout this season. Like, well, I say this season, like throughout last season, he's had his wee mini redemption arc, but he seems to have fallen out of favour again and his performances are being brought into question. So I don't know how you solve that situation, because a possible change might be Cadden, but he's no match fit yet. Like he was stripped and he was on the bench yesterday, but I don't remember him getting any minutes. So he'll be one that will be probably eased back in for quite a while. I think it would be a massive mistake for Hibs to throw him in as being, an instant improvement on the right back or right hand side situation, because it could set him back even further, because the Achilles injury is not an easy one to come back from. So I don't know, like if teams are targeting the right hand side, like that wasn't a new thing yesterday. That's been consistent, I think, since Whittaker and Miller have been jockeying for position. I genuinely don't know what the answer is. Maybe there'll be a difference when we get Boyle back, but I think some of the criticism that's been laid at other players when it's been suggested that the lazy could also be levelled at the likes of Boyle as well. So is Boyle going to give any more support to any of Whittaker, Megwa or Miller behind him? Maybe you'll get a bit more familiarity if you have Miller and Boyle down the right hand side, because they're playing obviously away. They've got international duty together. Maybe they've got a little bit more of that sort of gelling that we're talking about that we don't have for the existing team with some of the new signings coming.
Cheers. What were you calling?
Oh, I'll just get Jair out there. I think he's this redemption arc we talk about. I think he did have a couple of good games at some point. I said the other week, last week maybe, I don't know what he's bringing to the team now, and he plays the whole fucking game. Like he never got subbed yesterday again, did he?
No.
It's like, I don't know. I can't remember. I don't think he did. Might have. Fuck knows.
Yeah, they went off at half time.
Did he?
Aye.
Didn't even notice because because the new guy that nearly scored came on. But I don't know what he brings, so I get him off. I think it's Miller, Cadden, Boyle might have to be the solution down there, which is a shame for Megwa, because, like as folks said at the time, why are we bringing him back? We just got to fucking ruin him. Like he's doing well there. He's bringing his confidence up. He's getting some experience. We've brought him back. And we've dropped him, and we're getting. He's having to fucking switch his social media off because the fans. It's because it's fucking toxic now, including us, but not on social media. Fucking making the laddie switch his social media off. It's like fucking hell. Like we've got a prospect, a talent that's rated inside the club. Bring him back off his loan deal. Fuck him up. So I think he's just got to go with the experienced boys, and it's Cadden and Boyle with Miller as a backup maybe, because they're the experienced boys. Take the heat. You need to be leaders here. Deal with that shit.
Yeah, I think it's a big ask on Whittaker, really, because a 16-year-old to be playing that level of football, and like across the world, it's only exceptional players really that play at that level at the age of 16, like your proper wonder kids, and with the greatest of respect to Whittaker, he's no in that bracket. Like he's no, from what I've seen so far, it doesn't look like a £4 or £5 million player.
Mate,
Do you know
that
we're bringing in? But but I think it's him. I think like any 16-year-old, like you could take a 16-year-old at Rangers or Celtic and put them in at right back, and they would have the exact same issues because they're not ready for it. It's a huge jump from.
There's 16-year-olds playing in the league, though. Motherwell's got a boy playing in that as well, so it can get done. But he came from nowhere. It was almost like nobody was speaking about him.
No.
Right, like the whole, because he wasn't even close to that team that were running in Europe last year. He might have been too young. I don't know. Like that team that was doing their European run.
Yeah.
But he just jumped ahead of all of them in the queue, and it was almost like a wee bit of we praised it at the time because the manager came and said, "I'm going to play youth players," and he did. Right, but it's almost like it was. I said that, so I'm going to do it. He'll do.
Okay.
Right back. That's fine because it's like not a dangerous one. All that is
that how much of that thought process do you think is almost like revisionism? Like, because, like you say, at the time we sort of praised it, and if you think back to Whittaker's first couple of games, like particularly the first one when he almost scored,
Should
he
have
looked
scored.
all right. Should have scored. He looked all right, but then like we're coming round, and we praised it, and now we're coming round to it now, and it's almost like we're looking, kind of scratching a bit for the wee excuses to say, nah, he was fucking wrong. He should never have done that. That was a mistake.
So I think it was a mistake to do it. I think where the mistake comes is to pin that that position, or pin him into that position where we're getting week after week after week getting targeted. It was a problem area before, like, as you said, John, which I totally agree with. But your solution then isn't the 16-year-old. I think it's fair on Whittaker. I think he's a good young player. He's got like plenty of potential, but this isn't helping him. Like you talk
Bring him
about
in
how,
and out. You need to bring him in and out, give him some minutes, but no like put. It's something like I missed the first 8 minutes, as I said. But I read somebody saying for kickoff, they had lined up like you do the kickoff and they launch it in the corner. They just like loaded that side and like we're just straight for kickoff. Fucking stick it in that corner, we'll chase it down like a rugby game. Because they thought, right, we'll put pressure on the young laddie straight away. It's like it's no fair on him.
no.
He might be good. He might be like he's as you're saying. He's not being Rooney that's coming in and he's already a man and he's like fucking. He's just a young laddie and he looks a young laddie and other teams are going, he's a young laddie. Fucking let's destroy him.
Aye, and it doesn't help when they've got Jair in front of him because Jair's just the same. He's still a young player, still not very good. Do you know, like in the grand scheme of things, it just like it explains a lot of like the goals we're conceding are sloppy goals. But I think if you've got one area of the team that's and it's not just one area of the Hibs team, and I don't really want to kind of labour the point, but when you've got an area of the team that's weak, it affects everybody else because they'll have to compensate for it. Like everybody has to, the confidence isn't there to kind of go and attack the way you want to attack, and all the rest of the kind of the knock-on things that come with it. But I think it's fair for the laddie, and I think that's on Montgomery. Like, and I agree with you, Colin, again about the Megwa, recalling him to bring him in and drop him and pin a couple of goals on him. It's no good. And
It doesn't matter who's there. These problems are happening. So it's something else that's the problem rather than the individuals. That's what I would say.
So I appreciate your point about like it's on Montgomery, not to be playing Whittaker there. But what's the alternative at the moment?
Bevan is can play right back. He could have come in. Do you know, or Megwa, who's got the more experience, and not a lot more experience, but he's played at an older age level for longer than
play three at the back.
Whittaker.
So playing devil's advocate then, why do you think Montgomery's going with Whittaker as opposed to Bevan or Megwa with the slightly more experience?
I can trust them more.
On the bench, was he?
No, Bevan was in the squad yesterday, I think. I think he's going with it because he trusts them more than he trusts Megwa, John. And I get like the thing with like no bringing in more right backs. We've got Cadden, we've got Miller, and then you'll have Megwa and you'll have Whittaker, and four is too many for a first team squad. Like 4 right backs is too many. So I get why maybe wouldn't bring them in, but you have to adapt something else. Like like you say, can you go 3 at the back? Can you bulk up the midfield to protect it a bit? There's loads of things you can do. It doesn't have to be a personnel change. Anyway, right, talking points because we've got tons of them, so we'll try kind of apologies if we didn't go into like masses of depth with each talking point. We'll try and get through as many as we can. First one, Neil Renton says Montgomery is getting it tight just now, but how many managers have we gone through in the last 5 or so years? And we've not progressed as a club since we won the Scottish Cup. I would still say that there's a chance any investment in the club is wasted on the current setup.
Seen Neil on Sports Scene a couple of times.
Aye, so I'm looking good, Neil.
Well done, Neil.
And congratulations on passing your driving test as well, Neil.
Yeah.
Have we progressed since we won the Scottish Cup?
Well, I'm trying to think. Well, no, we done that. Sure, we done it. We done it 5 years on, but it's longer than 5 years now. So it's 8 years.
But we've got the championship. That's progress, I suppose. But I think that's probably the only thing that you could.
It's expected,
Yeah. Right. Ian McNeil said, just stop their wages to get win and draw bonuses. So fine them their wages when they put on a non-performance like that draw today.
Contract lawyers may have something to say about that.
Aye, I think I don't know. I think the names was it Jim McLean or Tommy McLean had that in place at Dundee United, where it was all like heavily incentivised towards winning.
Mhm.
You've got a
I-
really shite basic. I don't know if you're going to attract the sort of talent we want to attract with that type of structure.
Yesterday was one of those ones that you think players should be embarrassed about picking up the wage. Everybody, like at the club, should be associated. That's associated with the performance yesterday should be embarrassed about picking up the wage for it. It was miles off it, miles off it. Andrew Brown said the worst performance in a long, long time, include the 2012 Cup final in that list. The manager is the most important person at a club. Why do we constantly take punts on them? It might sound insular, but we need a manager with a proven record in the SPL and build from there.
I think I forget who it was that said it, but it was in reply to one of your tweets yesterday, Matty, that said that even if you had someone like McInnes, so look, I think McInnes is probably the prime example. I've not been a big advocate of his for the Hibs job, but they were bottom half of the season last season, and they're above us this season because he's had time to properly implement his ideas. We wouldn't stand for that. Like, look at where we are now. How long's Montgomery been in charge? Folk wanted about weeks ago. So I think this also I think this also applies to like players. Like we talk about bringing in experienced players, but you look at someone like Gogic, for example, yesterday, who played really, really well for St Mirren. We didn't want him. We wanted him out because he wasn't good enough because he had one shite game against Motherwell. So I think there's an argument perhaps for a I don't know if I'd call it an attitude shift, but like what you want for Hibs kind of shift.
Like a mindset shift.
Mindset, that's the word. I'm really fucking struggling for words today.
Yeah, you're doing fine. Colin, what do you think about that? Like, is it more important if when we move on, which will at some point, whether that's sooner or later, from Montgomery, is experience in Scottish football like a must-have in terms of criteria for the job search?
I don't think it has to be. No, like a good manager would be a good manager. I don't think it has to be. I just think that's like it's obvious and easy, but I think John's right in everything he said there. Like if McInnes came in and went, "Well, I need time to clear the decks and have a consolidation season." I'm not having a fucking consolidation season. No, again, we've got a proven SPL manager here. Get him out, and that's where we would have went. We would have went down that route. Nah, I didn't want. I like Gogic. No, he doesn't play enough football. But now we need fucking just centre halves that clear it. Like, well, there's one on their team that was fucking here.
Pete 1983 said Levitt and Newell in the middle is suicide. It's moronic at this point. Yuan is a luxury we cannot afford to carry. Tavares really is a crisp packet. Easiest team in the world to play against.
Yeah. Midfield's just not working. It's just overrun every week.
Complaints.
And no working in pretty much every sense of the word. Part Fry's image, we can't stop losing goals. The club's arrogance across the last 6 transfer windows means we have not replaced McGregor's character, and that's cost us time and time again. This league will test you with balls into the box, and we don't have a centre-half that fancies that stuff.
Well, there's a lot of goals for crosses, so maybe that's... Do you stop the cross, or do you get the header away? Yeah.
I think until you sort of the centre-half, it's stopping the cross. It's the key part to it. It's funny because I can't remember if we spoke about it on the podcast whether last week or the week before when we were talking about like what's a typical Hibs goal look like, and it was quite hard to sort of explain what does that look like because we didn't see loads of them, but they tend to be all the same. You could definitely say what does a typical goal that Hibs concede look like though, and it's a ball into the box and fucking panic stations and look,
it was 2 yesterday.
Aye. So, Whiskey Craig said, woeful defending. Levitt looked uninterested. Second half a bit better. A couple of the new boys looked class, but still very leaky at the back. Want to see the team that finished that game gel, plus Boyle and Cads. Also want to see fight, desire, and another man in midfield. Do you think we're ever going to see the other man in midfield under Montgomery?
It'd be interesting. I was thinking about that earlier on. Because we've spoken about his beliefs and he's sticking to it, and if he was to change his philosophy or whatever you want to call it, then he would maybe lose a bit of face. But he's under pressure now, and if you're going to change it, it's now. So Celtic on McGregor will fucking dominate that midfield on Wednesday. 'Cause, like, I think he's like the best player in the league.
Yeah, he is.
He'll take the piss out of them, and you just need to get somebody on him. You need to put somebody else in there and just say fucking track him, because even if you track him, he's still fucking better than you. So
Did we not do
try and
that?
stop him.
Did we not just sell that player to Melbourne City?
No, I don't care if he's good enough.
Did
to do that.
Jago not do that with McGregor in the previous game?
I think Venti did it in the 0-0. I think that was his job in
Was it?
in that game. I think on your point, Colin, I was getting this a lot of thought coming back yesterday for the game about, do you stick with your beliefs, right? And I think if you want folk to buy in to what you're doing, right, it's fine to have that. This is what we're going to do, and I stand by it. There is a point where you need to look at it yourself and say, right, have I made a mistake here? And was I right in that? Like, my unwavering belief that I have in that, is it still unwavering, or is the evidence telling me that this is the wrong way to go? Because the folk that are behind you will be looking at it going, this isn't fucking working. And if you're not getting them any wee signs, and there's nothing to suggest that it's working now for Montgomery, or results under there, or performances under there, the crowd are getting on the players' back. He's had to churn out half the team and bring another half a team in. There's nothing to suggest that it's going to work. He needs to go and say, and front up to the team and say, right, we've tried it. I thought this was going to work, but actually it's no. And for us to get better, we're going to have to do something different and take folk along on that journey with him, because now, what is it? Like, if you're just going to stubbornly stick to it and believe in the wrong thing,
It's got to lose credibility with the players, isn't it?
It's stupid, and he'll lose his job. Like, that's the way that goes. Eddie said, if Hibs keep dropping points and we need to trust the system, how many games will it take to get sacked after bringing in 7 new players? John?
I don't know. I'm
It'll be Inverness in the cup, because if we get put out of the cup, then it's fucked.
Well, the next 4, John, to help you, right? We've got Celtic, Inverness, Aberdeen, and Dundee,
And then it's Hearts.
and then
So the
Hearts.
derby would be the final clincher, because if we lose a derby, it's fucking meltdown anyway, no matter what. So if we're out the cup, we get, it's no fucking hope.
So we say 5 games, max.
I still wouldn't sack him. I still wouldn't sack him because, like we've talked about, so one of the things I've referenced before is the toxicity in the stands. Like, I've not actually seen. I think the one thing that's missing for that sort of check sheet is I've not seen any nicknames about Nick Montgomery yet. So there's no like Sean Baloney or Jack Loss or anything like that. But you're definitely getting the toxicity. You're seeing it on social media. You're seeing it in forums. You're seeing it. You're hearing it, seeing it, and hearing it on the ground. But I think we've also demonstrated when we've talked about it that our constant churn of managers, the sacking of them, doesn't progress us. So the whole thing about accepting mediocrity, like, I don't accept mediocrity. Like, I'm not happy about yesterday's result. I'm not happy about yesterday's performance. But if the alternative is to sack him to find ourselves here again, well, why would you sack him?
I get that argument.
And to reference something that I said previously as well, is like with regards to like squad resets. So I think Neil at the start of the talking points was, have we progressed since we won the Scottish Cup? There was a momentary bit of progression there, like you say, we got promoted. There was the league finish under Lennon after a strong second part of the season. Then Lennon wasn't sacked. Whatever the fuck happened with Lennon, he left, and then we've just kind of dotted about the managers ever since.
Well, Jack Ross got a start. That was the progression.
Jack Ross got a start, but interestingly, you can come back to the theory that there was no fans in the ground to have a go at the side. Gogic was part of that side. Fans got back in, get Gogic the fuck. So if to come back to my point about, like, if Hibs were to get relegated under Montgomery, and I'm not naive enough to say that if we were to lose the derby, for example, after a string of bad results and losing the Scottish Cup game, etc., if we were to get relegated, that Montgomery would still be in a job. But there would be an opportunity, if we were to be relegated, if we were to get really shit, to really see a bad patch, to then have an upturn in feeling towards the club, the personnel, the players, etc., etc.
Would you trust them to rebuild it in
It's-
the
it's
Championship?
good-
Do you know what I mean?
like,
Like, could we afford another 3 years in the Championship? Like, I
As I
just
say-
think delegation's an option like that. That can be.
I'm not saying we should get relegated, I'm saying that people should accept that that's a possibility and ride out as unpalatable as it is, ride it out.
We can't just get relegated when we're shite.
No.
Well, to rebuild. Like, we need to
I'm not
actually
saying
build.
that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that we need to be, but for example, like get into a playoff, win the play, like galvanise, like come
No
fucking
thanks.
behind the team because, well, how do we progress then? And that's
Well,
where
well,
we are because,
So
like I
we've
say,
got a load of
20
loan
fucking
players in.
years.
We've brought a load of loan players in, so the squad can be rebuilt in the summer again anyway, because they all just fucking go away again. Like, I assume the purpose of bringing them in January, maybe because they're thinking, one, we'll see how they are, and we might try and buy them, or two, not sure about this camp, we'll see, and we can rebuild in the summer without having a massive shite left over.
Aye. I think that's
But how do we progress? How do we progress from where we are when all the evidence to the contrary says that we will be back here again? How do we get beyond this spell? How do we get beyond this shit period? That's the bit I want.
You're meant to bring better players in.
a better manager. It's a good question, and it's that like caught between a rock and a hard place with it, because I totally agree with you. Like, if you look at the evidence, the chopping and changing managers has not progressed. It's moved us backwards. Seem to take a step back with each manager that we replaced. So the logical conclusion there is, Denny sack Montgomery, give him the time. The flip side of that is we're going backwards under Montgomery, and
Mhm.
you how long do you persevere with that, saying, well, it's only time that is what he needs? Is it just time that he needs? Is it time plus new players plus another factor that he needs to sort out before he gets it? Or do you say, it doesn't matter how much time you're going to give this boy, we're going backwards and it's going to get worse. So why prolong the pain for a year and a half or a year? Why put the club at risk of relegation? Why put us at risk of not achieving the goals that we need to achieve to grow the club, when you can see the evidence is telling you right now that it's no working? It's a rock and a hard place with it, John, because I see merit in both points.
I think then. So I think one of the things that I've not seen discussed, and I've not actually spent a hell of a lot of time looking at Twitter since last night, but I think with the deal being signed off last week, with him now being a minority owner, then he's going to have a say in, presumably, in the structure of the club and who's in charge and the players. Because if we're going to have this be part of this pyramid of players coming through, then he'll have a say on whether Nick Montgomery is the manager to take those players forward to achieve their potential and go on to Bournemouth, presumably.
Well, apparently he's not. He says they're going to have no control over like the running of the club and the management, etc. So it depends.
But do you see where I'm coming from? Surely,
I totally see where you're coming from. Yeah.
And I think the other point I was going to make in regards to that was, I think if we want to achieve those aims that you talked about, then there needs to be significantly more investment in the club beyond £6 million, because otherwise, like I think fans want a quicker success than any sort of rebuild will take. Well, how are you going to achieve that? Well, it's got to be money. It's got to be the money or the connections to bring in those better players.
Okay, just conscious of time, we'll try and I think we've done about 6 out of 100 talking points, 100 odds. Right, Ladid says, standout moment that sums it up for me: Yuan on the touchline with a man to get past, just stands, doesn't try to go forward or inside or make a pass, literally makes no move at all. What I imagine happened at that point, is it A Beautiful Mind? Is that the film where the boy's got the equations going in front of his eyes, like in his head? That's what I imagine. Yuan was just standing the ball with that happening, and then he figured out he wasn't very good at maths and just gave it away or passed it back, whatever he did with it at the time. Kaiser Soze said the stubbornness is mental, system isn't working, players out of position, negative tactics, and no striker at home. Sack Cunt and tell him to take that pseudo prick Kensel back down under. Worst half since. I'm not going to read that last line. Venty's Plenty says, unless a top established manager to replace him, mind this is a guy who 90% of the support were in favour of when he was hired. We give him till at least the end of the season to see if he can turn it around with the players he has brought in. Otherwise, the cycle will just repeat. I think that's just the point that you made, John. Martin Dunn, absolutely no urgency in trying to play this passing football and look clueless going forward. No other words needed. Picture says it all. And it's the, is it a goose or a seagull? I think it's a seagull giving it the fucking boo.
I think that's a quite a permanent point. So as much as I'm saying stick Montgomery, and I think overall we're talking about some changes needing to be made with regards to system, personnel, or whatever. I think when you look at the number of passes and the amount of possession that Hibs had yesterday compared to St Mirren, we had more. They had more goals, but it mattered. So, if nothing else, and maybe I don't know exactly what the reason is behind it, but we need to be getting the ball forward quicker. That's what St Mirren seemed to be doing far better. That's what Kilmarnock did far better last week.
Totally agree. Stuart said, let's face it, Levitt, Jair, Newell and Yuan are not good enough. Chris won the tickets for the St Mirren game on our wee competition. Just on that note, we have got a competition for 2 tickets for the Celtic game. If you can put yourself through that, all you need to do is go to our YouTube channel and share on Twitter one of our YouTube shorts or one of our videos and just tag us in it so we know you've done it. And you could win 2 tickets. Good seats as well, I think, for the Celtic game. We've also extended that offer if you don't want to go and you want somebody to take your tickets off you. We will also take your tickets away for you as well if you want to enter the competition. Same way to enter it, and just let us know whether you want to go or whether you want to stay at home. Chris says Levitt should never play for Hibs again. Awful footballer. Yuan is stealing wages. Reminds me of Canberra. Jair's lost and not this level. Whitaker was found out-muscled, outplayed, and outthought by St Mirren all game. Monty needs to look at his tactics urgently. Alan Duncan said, lost for words, no desire, no fight, no determination. The players just seem to expect to turn up, pass the ball around and win games without the hard yards. Additionally, Levitt is the worst player I've seen for a while. He can be in acres of space and still pass to the opposition. The Levitt Newell midfield, John, I was a big advocate for that earlier in the season. I'm going to stand up and say I'm wrong on that. It just doesn't work, does it?
Nah, and I think the difference about Levitt and Newell midfield now compared to earlier in the season when you were giving them praise was it was a different manager and it was a different personnel. And I think was it ENT was saying about the extra man in midfield, and I was going to make a joke about, do you think it would have made a difference if we had 12 bodies yesterday played? I don't think it would have. But say Hibs lined up in like a 3-5-2 or a 4-5-1, like who is that extra body in midfield that's going to make those two more like that more like that partnership that you advocated for at the start of the season?
Well, I think then you're looking at Amos or Mariah Welsh coming in, who looked good yesterday, by the way, when he came on. Mariah Welsh, I thought he had brought an energy to the midfield that we'd been missing.
I thought he looked quite quick.
Yeah,
like not. I don't mean like necessarily out and out pace. I just mean like he looked quick with his feet and what he was doing with the ball.
I like to look at him. He was busy. Got in about the St Mirren players, made a few tackles, a couple of wee fouls, and kind of just wee moments that you'd expect a midfielder to be making. Green Man said, today was the first time I've seen the players booed onto the park for the second half. The stats are horrendous, indefensible. I can't think of a single positive to take for the game. Incredible to say it, but in my opinion, it's only a matter of time before Monty is gone. Bill Sharp said, utter shambles. First time in my 53 years of watching Hibs, I left before half-time. Yuan's attitude to a bad pass on the left wing was shocking. No place in this club for that lack of desire. Colin, how do you deal, like if you're Montgomery, how do you deal with that lack of desire or fight from a player like Yuan?
I think you've got to take him out of the team. No, I say him, like whoever it is. I'm not specifically saying Yuan, whoever it is, because I watched Joe Newell's interview on Hibs TV this morning, and he mentioned it. He was talking about a lack of fight and effort, and I thought, and he was embarrassed at saying it because he almost that, and you think it's like, but I don't know how many of them you'd almost take the liver of them out yesterday, because I'm not sure if anybody showed any fire desire. I think Newell hit a boy early doors. I don't know if he got booked for it. That was, I think, maybe the free kick for the first goal came from. Whitaker got a booking for getting a boy a done as well. And it's almost like, at least they're showing a wee bit of fight. Like, and it's, as mad as it sounds, it's almost like take body skin. Like when you're that bad, just go about, just like fucking show you actually care. And it didn't look like enough of them did. But to answer the question, you would have to start taking the team. But the problem you would have is, how big is your squad? Like, If we've got 11 replacements.
Can we take them all out of the team and just start with a totally different side against Celtic? Councillor Tom McEwen said, well, they can add 11 extra to the attendance. The players stood and watched the game around them. Surprised they didn't clap the St Mirren goals. Stuart Anderson said, worst 45 minutes I've watched from a Hibs team since Butcher. Midfield drive me insane as they have no drive and totally pedestrian. No point in having pace in abundance because they never get the quick ball. Steve McKenzie said, I'd like to know why people were getting excited about a window that just had so many loans until the end of the season. That's never going to be anything to build on. You need to build something. He says, I know that's not about the game, but would like to know your thoughts. John, is the number of loans that we've brought in the window a problem? I should say we're extra time this week. We're going to look at the activity in the transfer window and do like a wee special on whether or not we think it was a good window, and also whether Montgomery can turn it around. So if you want to listen to that, and you probably do, obviously, why wouldn't you? You can subscribe at our Patreon, at our Hubwave, or on our YouTube channel as well, and you'll get the content there. So, John, the question: loans, is it a problem?
No, I'd probably be paraphrasing Colin here. Colin might be the best place to answer this question because he's been vocal on it before about the number of loans are really to see us through till the end of the season, and then the proper rebuild takes place after that. Because I think, I'm sure you've mentioned it before, Matty, as well. Like I think Hibs have found themselves in a situation where they've signed players, they've had maybe a couple of decent performances, and then you sign them up on longer contracts, but then you're left with this kind of like middling performance, which brings down the overall performance of the club. So that maybe ties in with what I was suggesting before about seeing out this shitty period, like not sacking Montgomery, give him till start of the season, proper identifying the targets, hopefully additional investment, etc., and then go from next season. I know that's shite to say about the whole season write-off or whatever, but well, what else is it?
So January, everybody tells you January is a difficult window, it's a hard window, right? But we needed to do something. So you can't, unless you're going to spend in millions in January, then you're not going to get anybody. So we've got loan deals for players that should be better than what we've got. And then in June, or whenever the summer window opens, that's when you can then either re-sign them if we can, or go and get the players that you can't get in January because it's fucking the summer. So I get it, because we've been bit before, like mind before he's a Fenland standing with fucking about 40 players and they were shite. And
it's just a wee bit of exaggeration. And Claros was all right.
Yeah, just all right. Well, I mean,
well, hang on. So it's relative, isn't it? I thought Claros was good in what was a really average to shite Hibs side.
To be fair, Docherty was a good player. Docherty gets hammered because his comments after the cup final. Docherty was a good player. Franklin was a good player as well. That came in that window. But let's not dwell on him because that season did not end well. It's fair to say. Raymond says, we signed so many players that looked to be an improvement and managed to look like a schoolboy team that had just met each other playing against Real Madrid. Zero invention and nobody appeared to know where each other were supposed to be on and off the ball. No fight, woeful.
What we need, he's right, we need a wee Dubai break to get them to gel.
we need team bonding and get them away out of the country for a wee bit.
An Easter break, maybe focus on that.
That the longer the performances stay like they are, the more Dubai's going to get thrown up in it. Like, absolutely, there was already criticism before they went.
I get the value in going, but then we signed all the players after we went.
Yep.
Gibby the Hibby said, are the Hanlon and Stevenson haters going to persist that they aren't good enough? We can all agree at their age we need to look for alternatives, but they have done no worse than those playing today. I hope to see Cadden, Hanlon, Obita and Stevenson on Wednesday. And he also said it may be a bit unbalanced with two lefties in the middle, but we just need centre-halves that aren't going to shirk away from these cross balls that are coming into the box. Nectar didn't impress me today, and I wouldn't chuck your Bevan in against the Hayden versus Celtic. Hanlon Stevenson. Surely I know the answer now. We've moved on. Surely. Or have we?
We need to get better players than them. And I think Obita is a better player than Stevenson. at this current time. So we've got better there. But whether we've got a better centre half than Paul Hanlon yet, I don't know.
I don't think Hanlon would have made us worse yesterday. Watching that game, there was nothing for Nectar that made me think he's better than Paul Hanlon. First game, and that's no me writing off a player at all. That's just what I saw yesterday, right? And if we can review that in 5 games' time. Jay Caldwell Anderson said, soft as shite all over the park, bullied off the ball by a mediocre Saints. No one is doing a good job from top to bottom. Look like a team of players that can't get a game for a reason. New chaff. Okay, I think that's centre half. Canahan said, what's the real problem? 5 years, 5 managers, and absolutely nothing has changed. I could have put jerseys on 11 people for the stands, and they would have given more. And that's nothing new. This is years and years of this. John, is that bigger problem? That's a loaded question. Is that bigger problem the fact that we keep turning managers? Or is it more than that?
If not that, what is it?
Colin, do you have a theory on that?
No, I think there's a good argument for it, because we spoke before about the new manager. I need to come in and assess the squad and bring his own players in. You need 2 windows, 3 windows, and then we just bin them, and then it's 2 squads that the next manager needs to sort out. Then when he gets sacked, it's 3 squads, 4 squads, 5 squads. So it's like nobody's ever getting to build a team. Like nobody's getting to do that. And Montgomery's had plenty of time to assess the squad, because he came in at mid-September.
Yeah, early September.
Plenty of time to assess what he had, but then it's January. That's his first window, so he's just got to bring loads of loan deals in for the reasons we just spoke about. But he's not getting. And now we're talking about winning him, and then what we've got is then a new manager coming in and going, "Fuck me! Like I've got a Heckenbottom squad, Jack Russ's squad still here."
I suppose, so when I was thinking before about when we were talking about the loans and keeping Montgomery until not keeping him, allowing him that time to go for that proper rebuild. Is there an argument, and we might discuss it in extra time, is there an argument, or how likely is it if we were to let go of Montgomery now and get someone else in, that we could implement their vision come the start of next season?
So I suppose it depends on where you see the issue with Montgomery being, right? So if you think that the issue with Montgomery is the fact that he's tied to this way of playing, and we're overrunning midfield every game, which I think it looks like we are, then a new guy coming in and changing the way we play, I mean, it doesn't have to be like prime Guardiola or, like bedding in Arteta like at Arsenal or anything. All he needs to do is fill up the midfield a bit, make us a bit harder to beat, and just fucking like play football that results in us having shots on goal. I think that you could bring something that would impact the team. I don't think they have to embed their philosophy between now and May when the season ends. All they have to do is get us to there and then use the pre-season to start doing what they need to do.
That's what we said about Montgomery.
Mm-hmm.
Just make the current squad better. It's not a bad squad. That's what we were saying about Johnson's squad. It's not a bad squad. Make them better. And for a few weeks, we looked all right. Came in with that wee unbeaten run. But then you lose a few games. You lose a derby at Christmas and play games like yesterday, and then you're like bin him again. So we just need to get somebody else in now that just makes the current squad better. It's just a constant fucking. I'm getting coming round to what John's saying. Like it's a constant fucking rinse and repeat. But you need to be confident you've got the right one in the first place. And this guy looks stubborn as fuck. And I don't know if that's a good thing. That may be a good thing.
And I don't want to get started on these things, but his interview yesterday was Cathro-esque. Like after the game, it was fucking like honestly listening to the radio, going fucking hell, this is hard going.
No, I've not listened to it.
Oh. You should just a lot of just drivel, really. Tony Swanson said earlier is wasteful, not trying playing out from the back is dreadful, not getting us anywhere. Midfield is stagnant, no creativity or ability to cut open a pass. Attacking play is slow. Attackers are open, but ball is played sideways or back, and Venti dropped ? Neil Waters says indefensible first half performance. Only slight positive is Mariah Welsh and Mayenda in the second half, but only lone players looked interested, which is a damning showing on our players. Mayenda looked good as well, quite quick and direct. I quite like the look of him. Stuart says we won the possession prize, which was nice. Dave Graham says system. It's just players showing no heart and no desire. Gaz on Safari said, I've never booed a Hibs player and I very, very rarely leave early. Today I did both. A sense of optimism in the ground before the game and we get dished up with that disgusting fucking boo. Bass 72 says, zero leadership from Monty, no leaders on the park. Dangerous times like Hibs Boy 69 says, one, we are much worse than we were under Stubbs and Lennon, despite having a much bigger budget. Two, we have no sellable assets in the squad. And three, when is the last time the academy produced a really good player, not someone Montgomery picked to tick a box? Last really good academy prospect, was it Burgess? Campbell?
No, one of the two there were the two that broke the first team. You've got that whole under-19 European squad kicking about somewhere in the championship and that. But they've not broke through the first team yet, so it would have to be back to Porteous, wouldn't it? And Campbell, probably Porteous would be the one.
Right, I'm going to do five more, and then we're out of time. There's actually as we've been recording, there's been another 20 come in. This is going to be like painting the fourth rail bridge. So, but I'm just sorry, but it's not possible for us to get through all the talking points that have come in. So we're going to do five more, and if we didn't cover yours, it's mostly the same gist anyway. So we've probably got your point across.
Just on that, I was up to date on that group chat that we were in this morning before. Like 9:30, I'm sitting with nearly 100 messages here as well. Like, what the fuck has happened? Has he been sacked or something? So it's just everybody wanting an opinion.
Right, Ryan Lyle said first half no excuses for the manager. Never made any, to be fair. Levitt, Yuan, and Jai have been poor for a while. Young Whittaker not ready yet. Confidence shot. His first thought is turn back. Need the new lads to be match sharp quickly. Montgomery needs to be adaptable with the shape. The half Monty said just Scunnard. Want to give him time and let the team settle. Do that though, and we'll be going to Airdrie and Morton before we know it. Vince Robinson says you're going to need a longer show. Yeah, but I think it's already longer, Vince. You're right. You predicted that correctly. They may be individually talented, but that was a collective shit show stroke no show. Bill Sharp said Gogic, one of the best players on the park, and we thought he was not good enough for Hibs. He's better by a country mile than anyone we have at the back. And the last one goes to Jack Moffat, who says, just give it to David Gray, man, or McInnes. So, are you feeling any better, having had a good old moan up about it this morning?
I was actually, no, because I've just started talking about it now. I was actually, I watched the game yesterday, left 10 minutes to go home and watch the rugby. And then this morning I thought, I better watch sports scene and that. And now I've spoke about it and now I'm fucking angry again. Like, we better just, I'm always done that. Can we just get to the end of the? Can we just call it the end of the season now, and I can forget about it for the summer?
Get close to that point, yeah. It was definitely fuck it. Like halfway through the game yesterday, honestly, because I'm. It's a good job I'm not in charge at Hibs because I would have sacked him at half time on that. I just think a kind of performance like that, it's fucking intolerable. Not having it. Go now. You're not getting the second half to fix it. We'll get somebody else in. But that's not the right approach to take, I'm sure. John, you feeling any better after having a chat about it?
I was feeling all right. No, I feel
terrible. I
feel terrible, man, because I think I just see the inevitable writing on the wall.
Yeah.
Because we will never progress with this because of who we are. Like, it's ingrained within us. That'll just be it. He'll get sacked. We'll appoint someone else. We'll be back here. What,
December,
October-ish.
The messages coming in.
Probably start about October, getting emptied in December because we'll want to give a new manager time in the January transfer window that we know is garbage.
The messages coming in do point that way, though. Unfortunately, that's the way. It's hard to turn that momentum round. The only way you can do it is to start by beating Celtic during the week, and then even then, like, go and win the next derby, like pick up decent results and win the next derby, and then he might start turning around. There's going to be a massive effort for him to turn it around now. You can just tell because we've done this long enough now that when all the kind of messages are coming in,
the signs.
Yeah, you do.
It's funny when you talk about turning it around because when you referenced the wee winning period or unbeaten period that we had earlier in the season, I can't remember how many games it was, 7 or 8 or something. And Montgomery was in the press saying, "I've turned it around." And it's like he should have stopped at that point. Like he didn't keep turning. He's sending it back where we fucking were. Just stop. Right. Thanks very much for sending in your talking points. I'm really sorry we didn't get through all of them. There's just nobody wants to be listening to this for this long. But also, contrary to popular belief, have lives that we need to get on with. So we kind of talk all day about Hibs. If you want to get your extra time episode again, that's on the merits of the transfer window and whether or not Montgomery can turn it around or should be given time to turn it around. You can subscribe and go and follow us on YouTube as well, where you can sign up there too. Right, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.
Well, they trailed me down when I broke free. I drank all the whiskey in Tennessee. I don't drink what I know.